Welcome back. Let's continue with lesson one. This one on how to use essential computer skills. So what do I mean by essential computer skills? It can be so many different things. I wonder what comes up to you. What comes up for you? What are some of the essential key things you have to know before starting to use a computer? Some of the basics, again, there's so many, but a short list that comes up for me is the first one, the operating system. What is the operating system? Can you name one example of one? Yeah, Microsoft Windows, for instance, Mac OS that's used on Macintosh computers. So the operating system is like the key component of your computer that connects your hardware to all your software. It allows you to run all your applications, your different software. Without the operating system, you really can't find a way to communicate with your computer. It really does that connection and allows you to use all the different software in your computer. So operating system, number one. Number two is, typing skills. You got to be able to type, navigate the mouse, and type it a way that's efficient. And there's some good typing tests that I'll show you in a little bit in this lesson, but typing is a key part of using essential computer skills. File management, a tricky one, often overlooked. If you're like me, at times my desktop just sort of gets so many different files that are poorly managed. I have to take a pause every once in a while and make sure those are filed away in a proper manner. So that's an important thing. You don't want to get too much of a clutter. It can slow down your computer. It can get you frustrated. You can lose files. So making sure you're doing that proper file management. Ergonomics. That one's a bit different. Ergonomics, we'll talk a little bit about that, but it's the study of how we sit at our computer desk, how we engage in how we are in comfort and be able to work efficiently and productivity with our workspace. And finally, coding, probably an ever-growing computer skill with sort of so much advanced of AI, people being more technology reliant, being able to create your own software. We've seen how the tech industry has boomed, not just in BC and Canada, but all over the world. So that coding, something I'm not a pro at. I have done some in the past, but certainly a skill that people are developing. And if you don't know it, make sure you're at least understanding some of the language. You can work with people with those skills. So again, this is not all the key computer skills, but I do want to start with what I believe is a crucial one, and that's ergonomics. The one that has to do with the body. Here I am talking about the body when we're talking about computer skills. And it is an important one because in order to use computer skills, we have to be able to preserve our body. So ergonomics, what is it? How would you define ergonomics? Here's one depiction of it, but I suppose it brings up the question of how workplace is designed for comfort and productivity. So what is that design? What is that setup? We'll talk about those details, but why should we care about ergonomics? What happens if it's neglected? Have you ever had pain working for long hours at your computer desk? Show of hands if you have. Yeah, I certainly have. Ergonomics is something that if neglected for long periods of time, it can lead to discomfort, pain, and even lifelong injury. So some common examples, you might have experienced these before. Lower back pain, I'm guilty of that. And I always have to be mindful of my posture. I have to be mindful that I have back support in the chair that I have. We'll talk about some of the tips to battle that. Also that neck, upper back, shoulder pain if you're hunched over your computer, especially those laptops. Eye strain is also something that is part of it, right? Our eyes, you might see people wearing those, I think they're called blue screen glasses. They prevent some of it could be damage, but some of the strain from the screen, the light is emitted from your screen. So being mindful of that as well. Here's a silly example. I think ergonomics is even more important from our at-home offices. I'm sure none of you look like this, but an example of sort of how we can get creative and how we use our home space to work, to study. And really, this might not be the best for our bodies. Does that look healthy to you? I don't think so. Next, let's take a look at some tips to improve ergonomics. I'm going to just recalibrate my share screen and watch a little bit of this video. You can click on the link that's on this slide, but here's a little hip song, if you will, about office ergonomics and how you can improve them.
Oh, yeah! Here we go! Well, listen, all you people in office land,
because we're gonna teach you something and you better understand.
Safety and wellness are important topics.
So listen to our rap about office ergonomics.
You're sitting there at your desk, your station's out of whack and your posture is a mess.
Your chair is so high you can't reach the floor. Your back is tired and your neck is sore.
You got a headache from all the screen time. Your eyes are getting itchy from too much bright light.
You feel the carpal tunnel closing in. If you don't make a change, then you're never gonna win.
Come on, people, get on the floor. It's time for us to take control. Let's show the world how we roll. Go, ergo! Go, ergo! First of all, let's adjust your chair.
Get a seat that suits your derriere.
Lower your chair so your feet at the floor.
Sit all the way back and use a lumbar support.
Thighs and knees should be parallel to the ground. That goes for your arms as well.
Keep your elbows close at your sides.
This is called neutral posture and it feels real nice.
Keyboard level or tilted down.
Keep your wrist straight now, here's your ergo crown. And with your mouse real close, you'll be the king of office ergonomics.
Is that even a thing?
Now raise your monitor, come on and try.
So the top third matches up with your eye.
And take a little break every half an hour. Stretch it out, take a walk, or go and smell the flowers. Come on, people, get on the floor. It's time for us to take control. Let's show the world how we roll. Go, ergo! Go, ergo!
If you enjoy that short little video, you can watch the rest of it on your own. I really like it. It's fun, it's catchy, and it's informative. Some of the tips we heard it talk about in terms of proper ergonomics. Let's continue on to the next slide. So that video talked about some of these. Looked at the monitor. You want it to be sort of height, eye level, top of monitor, or just below eye level. Keyboard and mouse are at the elbow height. You want to make sure that there's a 90-degree bend in your elbow. Hips are slightly higher than your knees. Getting that lumbar support, that back support on the chair. Now, I realize that we can get this in our home offices as well as we can at a, let's say, work office, but there's certain things you can do. I know I struggled when I first started working from home at the start of the pandemic. And then finally, I started bringing in some new things. I got an office desk. I brought my external monitor and I put it on top of a couple of books that I don't read too often. And so now I have a monitor. It's at a good height. I connect my laptop to it. I got an office chair, all these different things. I got good lighting in here. All these different things helped even at home. So I invite you, even though you're not at the office, you can still take good precautions to improve your ergonomics. So that's all I want to say about ergonomics. I do want to go beyond ergonomics and invite you to consider some of the other computer skills we talked about. Practicing your typing skills, managing your files, navigating your operating system, and more. There's a link here. I'm going to quickly click at it so I can show you what it looks like. So here's the link. It's a great website. There's various topics here, basic skills, computers. Again, this is by the GCF Global. I really enjoy using this site when I'm teaching this content. Let's say if you want to go to computers, for instance, you can go to computer basics, mouse tutorial, typing tutorial, computer science. Let's say here about some basic computer skills. If you click on the tutorial, you can get through each of these different steps, basic skills, how to use your computers built in, how to undo mistakes, free software, setup and maintenance. So a lot of options here. Starting a computer in safe mode, tons. Let's go back to the other one here and see what's in computer basics. About this tutorial, inside a computer, getting to know the OS. We were talking about the operating system. Now that you know the absolute basics of using computers, time to learn more about your computer's operating system. So there's great videos here, pretty interactive, good visuals. I highly recommend it. If you want to get familiar with the particular topic, check out this website that's shared in that link. Let me come back to the slides. I'm going to close that. Excellent. And so with that, to start wrapping up lesson 1, I want to introduce you to the assignment. In this assignment, click on the link that's in the slide and complete an ergonomics assessment of your workplace, whether at home or at the office. Once again, I'll click on here. You should be able to see it on your screen. So here is self-assessment. You don't have to go through all of it. If you want to do it on paper, you can, but just allow it to guide some of your decisions around how your office is set up. So your office chair, can the height, seat, and back of the chair be adjusted? Are your feet fully supported by the floor? Does your chair provide support for your lower back, keyboard and mouse? So that's another thing I did. I bought a keyboard and mouse. That really helped me with my space versus on the laptop. It felt a little bit more crowded. The surface, is your monitor positioned directly in front of you? Is it at least at arm's length? Yeah, it's exactly at arm's length. So stuff like that, it might be helpful, things you might overlook if you hadn't done this assessment. So check that out, the link there. And once you're done that, evaluate what's set up well, what needs improvement. And if I could share one piece of advice that really worked for me, is take action sooner. Ergonomics is one of those things that it really adds up over time. If you can take actions to improve it sooner, you will feel it, and it's going to help you in the long run. So good luck with that assignment, and then I'll see you in a minute in lesson 2. Take care.